Published, 1904 Eastern Standard Time, the 8th of January 2019. Updated, 1937 Eastern Standard Time, the 8th of January 2019. Naysayers may well have predicted that the government's flagship energy-saving scheme, the Green Deal, would be a flop. But harder to foresee was the terrible legacy of distress it has left in homes across the country. Launched in 2013 with the promise of revolutionizing Britain's old, draughty housing stock, it was axed just 2 years later. Over the period the Green Deal was on offer, experts raised concerns time and again about rogue companies hijacking it to rip off households. They appear to have been proved right. The idea was to give homeowners cheap loans for energy-saving solar panels, boilers and insulation. Customers were promised the repayments would never be more than they would save on their bills following the work. By 2015, 10,000 loans had been taken out, and amid criticism over the lack of interest, the scheme was cancelled. Well, if the experiences of our readers are anything to go by, thank goodness the take-up was relatively low. It turns out the so-called golden rule, that you wouldn't pay more than you save, was nonsense. This was not a guarantee as many thought because it depended on your usage, and as we've seen, some homeowners' bills have rocketed. Over the 2-year period the Green Deal was on offer, experts raised concerns time and again about rogue companies hijacking it to rip off households. Hundreds of firms tasked with assessing properties and carrying out installation work were banned after breaking the Green Deal's code of practice, which was meant to protect households. Trading standards warned that scammers were also cold-calling, falsely claiming to be from Green Deal. So if we knew all this at the time, why on earth wasn't more done to ensure customers were treated fairly? Households trusted that if the scheme was government-backed it must be a good deal. The reality is that they were lumbered with expensive loans they'll be repaying for decades to come. There needs to be a thorough audit of exactly who was sold what, so any victims of mis-selling can be properly compensated, and swiftly. Scam absurdity. Here at Money Mail Towers we like to think we have encyclopedic knowledge of scams, but this warning from reader Mrs. R.J. in Kent was a new one even for us. She says, I had a call to say someone new had moved into our road and had been talking to their neighbor about council tax. It appeared that the existing neighbor was paying more, and as a result the whole road had been reviewed. I was told the council had appointed a top solicitor's firm to arrange for us all to be compensated with a tax-free check. In my case this amounted to £5,000 worth of overpaid council tax. All I had to do was pay £100 to the solicitor by debit or credit card so they could send me a check with all the forms needed to set the process in motion. I was suspicious, of course, and said I would contact our local council to see what was going on. She almost jumped down the phone and said not to do that. Then she started to make small talk about how much she loved her job, spending all day telling people they were going to get a windfall of thousands. It was getting sillier by the minute, so I just hung up and never heard from them again. It still freaked me out though. Money savers, following our article last week about brilliant ways to boost your finances, we were inundated with ingenious readers' tips. Geraldine, of Worthing, says, a bulldog clip on the end of a tube of toothpaste will give you an extra few weeks of product that you might normally throw away. Another is to organize a rota with friends who are at home this winter to spend the day at each other's houses. It's fun, and you are only heating one house. The host can offer tea or coffee, but everyone else should bring sandwiches to keep costs down. Meanwhile, Magdalena says, fresh herbs go off quickly and you are unlikely to use all of them in one go. Chop them up, place in a labeled bag and freeze them. Keep them coming and I'll print the best here. B.BISCHOFF@dailymail.co.uk